Now, we just left off the debate, Miami Heat and the Pacers, who has more depth. But speaking of depth now, since Mr. Granger hurt his ankle on last night after shooting the ball, he fell, tweaked it, whatnot, went to the locker room, came back, and fouled LeBron. LeBron gave him a little stiff arm a little bit. He fell off to the side and hurt his ankle again, had to get rolled off in the cart behind the scenes. So what happens now with the Pacers team now that Granger is hurt with an ankle injury? What do you think, Derek?
You know, I don't know about that. I don't know if he'll play or not. It's only one guy in the league that, you know, really I'm ever sure about if he's going to play with an injury.
Number 24 in LA, right?
24. With some of these guys, they'll go out with an ingrown toenail. I mean, shit, you never know about some of these. I hope he plays. Danny, if you listen, you got to play, man. He's
a follower of our show, so you know. I'm sure he's watching this video right now.
You've got to come out and play. Your team needs you. But I will say this, even if you don't play, your team still will win. Somebody will step up. I expect Paul George and George Hill to have a big game. And
What's a big game?
Big game. I'm thinking George Hill with 20, Paul George with 20, and I think David West is going to have a huge game. I'm thinking probably West around maybe 17 points and maybe 12 rebounds. So it's going to be big for him. And I think Hill is going to have a big game defensively. And they're going to send that game down.
Back to Miami.
Back to Miami. A series back to Miami.
I've yet to see any of that really happen, so I'm not going to say that I'm gonna see that happen now.
No, what do you mean you didn't see it happen? They were up. Remember, don't forget this. They were up 2-1 in the series, and you guys were.
Yeah, but but I think we all can really realistically, if we put everything aside, the Heat lost those games. The Pacers didn't win those games. The Heat gave them up because they were still trying to figure out a way to play without Chris Bosh.
Figure out a way.
Yes, Chris Bosh has been healthy almost all season. So you take that piece out that's been consistent, all of a sudden you're like, oh, we got to totally look how many starting lineups they changed every single game. Every single game there was a different lineup initially to start the game off.
That goes back to the coaching.
They were blown out in Game 3. That wasn't competitive.
Dwayne Wade had his worst career postseason game probably ever. Okay.
Don't forget about LeBron, 6 points in the second half, man.
Okay. Oh, there's the shot. There's the first shot of the show, guys. Everybody, first shot, of course.
It wasn't a shot. It's realistic facts.
Look, when you're by yourself, it's a little hard to do that. I mean, I think you can agree. When no one else is scoring, and it's literally all you, it's a little hard to do.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because Kobe showed it's not easy. He had 42 all by himself. You're not going to that. So don't give me that. Don't give me that. Your guy needed 42 that night, and he didn't get it.
Anyway, what I'm saying is this: you look. This lineup has changed so many times. A makeshift lineup,
right?
Okay, and you have to learn how to work without Chris Bosh. And they're still doing that. It isn't like they've had a long time before the postseason,
right,
and now they're ready and all that. So they've been learning as they've gone with this series. Okay, and then you have a Pacers team that knew their lineup, that are healthy, and so you lose that game in Indiana, right? Okay, you're going to lose that game. It's not a surprise to me because you're still learning. Now that you saw what they did last night with what they had, they showed you guys they can win in Indiana and they can win in Miami without Chris Bosh. So I'm not worried about it. I don't have confidence that George and these other guys that have been role players at best this whole series is going to step up in Granger's spot in his stead and say we're taking this game over. I don't, because this defense of Miami has literally suffocated that offense.
Let's talk about that right now because Hansbrough foul on Wade, considered a flagrant 2, maybe get a fine, maybe a suspension. Same thing, Haslam foul on Hansbrough.
Yeah.
Probably a revenge thing for his teammate. And then Pittman and Lance Stevenson had a flagrant foul on Stevenson or whatnot. So that's going to be looked at, reviewed by the NBA. So if Haslam is suspended for 1 game and Pittman is possibly suspended for 1 game, can they win Game 6?
Well, Pittman, first of all, is a total non-factor, so I'm not gonna have to address that one. So whatever. Haslam that is going to make things tough because Haslam has been playing better these last 2 games. He hit some really key shots in Indiana, and last night he played pretty darn good defense and got some really key rebounds. So it's going to be very tough for them. If Granger was playing this game, I think the Pacers would probably win. But since Granger's not playing, he's really their only true offensive threat. I'm not going to say Pacers win this game. So if Dwayne Wade was out, another story. Haslam out.
We'll see.
It's not as big.
Wade might check out.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Yeah,
you never
you're
know.
right.
You might get another foul ball from him, man. For real, I'm serious.
But back to what you said about LeBron, not being able to score all those points and everything. Well, if he jacked up 35 shots a game like Kobe, he could score those 42.
Sometimes you need to jack that 35
That's the
shots,
whole
though.
point.
Just saying.
That's the whole point right
Just
there.
saying.
Sometimes you need to.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Because, hey,
LeBron shoots 15, 20.
that was a night he needed to
LeBron
jack
shoots
up
15,
25.
20 times, gets 28 points. Kobe shoots
But
35, 40 times, gets 42 points. Just saying.
Different circumstances.
Just saying.
On a night where his team needed him to jack up some shots, he went.
LeBron's a better
ghost
team
on
player.
him. He went
we
ghost.
understand that.
Well, we know he's a team player.
The whole debate with that, we're not going to go too much into that.
He's trying to get his.
He's a nice
he
guy.
has, but see,
He tries.
LeBron has faith that what he was trying to do was get Dwayne Wade back in rhythm. So he's like, there's no way he's going to go shoot this bad all game. So he kept dishing it to him. He just kept missing.
I smell
Third quarter.
You smell.
I smell bull. You know what?
But seriously.
You smell. What do you mean you smell balls? Come on now.
But
Let's
think
hear
about it.
this.
Third quarter, you don't have a guy in
Yeah.
game and rhythm. You gotta take it off.
Yeah,
you got
you-
1 point.
you're
You got
LeBron.
12 minutes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well,
Okay.
I think you guys could say that 40, 18, and 9 game kind of made up for that. So let's
Yeah,
be
it
real.
did. It did.
I mean,
make
come
up
on,
for
let's
it.
be real.
Let's
be
no,
real.
but you brought up that game,
Yeah,
and
you
you
did.
did bring it
I'm
up.
just bringing an example that Kobe shoots 45 times a game. He's gonna make 40 points. He's gonna have 40
Yeah.
points. LeBron James shoots that many times. He might have 50 points.
But there,
Yes, let's do it.
that.
but I bet you
That's
there's
the
a lot of Miami fans out there that was wishing he would have shot the ball.
You know what?
every
But he
time
made up for it because
when
now they
were
lead the
blown out.
series.
Yeah,
They do lead the series.
So we're not talking about
But they
it.
haven't won the series.
Not yet. They will. They will tomorrow.
Says who?
Watch. Just watch. You watch. Just watch.
Now, hold on.
You just
hold on.
watch.
You said they would have won the series a long time ago. Now.
Because that's when Chris Bosh was healthy.
No, because
Yeah, I said they win in 5, and they probably would have won last. That would have been the series clincher last night, and Bosh would have been. I'm just going by what I
don't
believe.
know.
We all have our opinions here. That's my opinion.
Let's focus that right.
Okay.
Bosh return versus possibly the Boston. Boston plays the 76ers on tonight in Philly, and they can close it out. They lead right now 3-1, actually 3-2 against the 76ers. So if Bosh, is it a good idea for Bosh to return to play that series against Boston, or if should he rest a couple of games or possibly try to wait to the finals?
No, because you can't rest hoping for the finals because there's no guarantee you get there. If Bosh is good enough, healthy enough to play in the series against the Celtics, you have to play. Even if he's dealing with a little bit of pain, you can even take it this step. Even if he comes off the bench or plays limited minutes, he's still giving you effective minutes because Bosh can still hit jumpers, he can still rebound, he can still give you a certain amount of defense because, let's be honest guys, the Heat have lucked out a lot by the Pacers not throwing the ball to Hibbert because the Heat might have the worst bigs in the entire NBA as far as teams that contend. So if Bosh comes back, you automatically have Bosh pulling Hibbert out, pulling David West out to where the point where you have LeBron and Wade going under the goal, cutting, and they're even more effective than they have been before. You think 126 points was a lot? If Bosh was playing this series, you don't know, they could score 150 points. So you look at it, Bosh has to play. If he can play, he has to play. You can't wait on the finals.
But you don't want to have another incident like Granger go back.
No, I get that. No, I get that. But you can't play in fear.
Bosh-
you can't say,
Bosh-
"Oh, Bosh, I don't want him to get hurt."
What do you think, Derek?
Bosh will not play no more in this series.
No, not this series. No, not this series. No.
They possibly
They're
go
saying that there's a
against
game 2 possible. He plays game 2 if they play the Sixers/Celtics if they get past the
They're
Pacers.
going to need him.
Yeah.
Yes, they're going to need
I
him.
don't, even with Bosh, I'm still not picking him to beat the Celtics anyways. or the Sixers because that series isn't over with.
Let's go to the next topic. OKC defeats the Lakers, and now OKC advances to the San Antonio Spurs, and they will play on Sunday. Who wins that series? Who wins that series? I know we haven't yet to see a game, but compared to matchups right now on paper, who's a better team?
Thunder and 6.
Thunder 6.
Thunder and 6. I think the Thunder are going to be too athletic. I think too physical for San Antonio. No knock on San Antonio. San Antonio's had a great season, and it's coming to an end. Let's be realistic here. Westbrook and Durant and Harden, they're just going to be too much. They're just too physical, and San Antonio it's not going to be easy for Oklahoma, but I think Oklahoma's just going to wear them down with their physicality and athleticism.
So who's the X factor in that game for OKC to win that series?
The X factor?
Is it Durant? Is it Harden? Or is it Westbrook?
It's going to be Harden.
Harden?
It's going to be Harden because you already know what Durant and Westbrook bring you every night. You already know these guys walk on the floor. It could be a 30 or 40 ball every night.
Right.
If Harden plays at the level that he can play at, the reason why he won 6 Man a year, I don't think nobody in the league's going to beat these guys.
Okay, well, I'm going to stick with the Spurs. I've said it. I said it from the beginning of this when we started talking about the playoffs. The Spurs are more championship ready. They're a team that they're the better team. I think that they're the better overall roster right now. As far as talent is concerned, the Thunder might beat them on that, but they're more ready. They're more mature. They have I think some disadvantage or some advantages over the Thunder as far as down low presence. The X factor is going to be whoever guards Tim Duncan. Because right now Tim Duncan's playing out of his mind. He's taken over every and he played against Al Jefferson. He played against Blake Griffin and Leandro Jordan. He played against some good bigs and he still dominated them. So I'm saying that whoever guards him has to try to shut him down if the Thunder have any shot of winning the series. So Durant, Westbrook, and Harden are going to have good games no matter what, no matter who faces them.
Right.
So you got to be able to have guys that can stop Tim Duncan and their offense because they've been running and gunning more than they ever have probably since Duncan's been there. I have the Spurs in 7.
I think Duncan played against 2 of the worst defensive bigs that I have in basketball, that I've seen in basketball. He's going to be playing against 2 of the better defensive bigs now that you have in basketball. Things are going to change for you, Timmy.
All right, real quick, last question. Boston leads 3-2 series. Who wins tonight? Is it Philly or will it be Boston? Tick tock.
I'm saying Celtics. I think the Celtics are going to win. I think that it's just they're a safe pick.
What you got?
Celtics.
Celtics.
They'll come in and they'll have that championship swagger, and Doc will have them
They
ready
keep
to play,
proving me wrong, man.
and they'll close them out tonight.
Yeah.
They know they let one get away the other night.
Well, thanks for joining us once again on The Spoken. I'm your host, Terry Love. To my left, Mr. Lance Twitwell. To my right, Derek Williams. Thank you for joining our
Love the emphasis.
NBA
Love the emphasis.
segment, part 2. Thank you.